The ped one is okay there. It's Kenty, and I'm by the pond, and as you can see, been doing a bit of jiggery pokery as you do. So it's the day after I posted the video, my last video, and I thought I would get around the pond. It's a lovely day. I've been got really down and dirty doing a bit of composting and just removing some pots and things like that. So I've just had a shower. I've already done some water tests earlier before I went and got dirty. I've moved a fish out of here, the one with the manky side. That has now been treated, the wound's been cleaned, and it's been put in my hospital grow on with 2 others. The koaku that was in there that jumped out, I've moved that from the grow on into the, what I'm going to call the hospital tank, to my grow on tank. And then the fish out of here has gone in hospital tank, and that's got salt in it at the minute. I've just tested it, 0.07, so that could do some more salt in there, but I've run out. So it has got a little bit in there though, so it is lightly, very lightly salted water. So hopefully that will, encourage that to heal, and then that will be in there for a few months probably. So in here now, there's no koi with any ray scales or anything like that. So as you can see, I've got a few bits out, and I'm going to I've just poured myself a pint. It's not Stella, it's Carlsberg. So black carbonate soda. I've got my the 5 kilo bag, and I've put it into 2.5 kilo buckets, and I've got 2 buckets, one that will go in here for my top pond, and 1 bucket that will go down the bottom for the grow on in the hospital tank should I need it. Now, there's been a lot of, a little bit of interest regarding the RO and things like that, and it's quite a topic of debate. I think my RO has gone off now actually. No, it's back on, look, see it trickling through. So it's obviously on the on cycle. And so what I've got here is my pond readings, and I know it's a bit of a scrappy piece of paper, but what I'm going to do is just get it out in its entirety, and just have a quick look at it. So this was when I tested my water back in May, start of the season if you want to call it that. Tap water, hang on, so the pH was 7.4, tap. Pond water was 7.8, RO was 7.3. Now with pH, take pH with a pinch of salt. Seriously, getting the equipment to test pH is really difficult. So what you're best to do is get a couple of gadgets and test it that way. That's not right there. That's my test source. Says 130, 135. Unless it was back then. Don't seem right to me, so I might have wrote that down wrong. Got them wrong way around, look. But anyway, the pond back then was 275 ppm. In fact, it wasn't, because there was salt in the pond over winter. It was lightly salted. I decided last autumn to lightly salt the pond, so that would have been the residue. And also back then, I think I may have put some Breeder Secret clay in there as well, and obviously that's mineral, so it will increase the TDS. So what you've got to do is, if you really are looking at your TDS and wanting to reduce it, then you've got to watch what you put in, because you're getting towards pure water and then you are putting minerals in, and that's a good thing in a way, because you know what you're putting in. Okay, so that's then. And then looking at here, so back in May, it was 10:45 in the morning, pH is 7.4 on my pen, and with the wand it was 8.1. The wand being that grow wand. Now I've got something to say about that in a minute. And the TDS was 263. Now on the 14th of June at 18:41 in the evening, in fact no, I put 1 for both, so it was 7.4 and 8.1. So these are a bit confusing really, but I kind of know what they mean. So in June the pH is saying it's 8.1, so it's gone from 7.4 to 8.1, and then it's gone from 263 to 208 ppm. So we'll forget that there. And then back on the 9th of August, the pond was 7.9, the RO was 8, and the pond was 127 ppm, and my RO water was 5 ppm. Today, the 21st of August, you can see here where I've been messing about. Forget the stains, I must have had some tea or coffee, but I like to see the old remnants of what I've wrote down. So the pond, as you can see, at 1 today, the pond KH was 1, the tap was 3, RO 0, ppm pond 120, it's gone down significantly, which is great. The tap 210, RO 6 ppm. So my RO since May is typically about the same in ppm, which is great. So that's May, June, July, August. May, June, July, August. So I've almost had 4 months out of it already, and it's been doing all right. So what, 4 months for £40 of pure water, that seems value to me. £10 a month. So this is where it gets interesting. So the stick, that wand I've just shown you, the pH 8.1, the tap water 7.7, and the RO was 6.5. Now what happened at that point is the reading on the pen started getting a bit fruity. I'm thinking, hang on a minute, how come we've gone to acid all of a sudden? And now on inspection of the stick, I'd broke the bulb. The little bulb at the end of the gadget had broke, therefore it's giving me a misreading. So that's where you've got to be really careful, and you've got to be diligent on what you're doing when you're testing stuff. Like I say, pH pens, if I'm honest with you, never trust them. Never trust them, and act. Check, double check. And so what I did then, I've got another pen, a yellow one of them cheap yellow ones you can get, and the pH in the pond, I calibrated it by the way as well to pH 7, so I calibrated the pen. The pH in the pond was 7.8, the pH in the tap was 7.2, and the RO was 7. Now interestingly, with the reagent, and I've just looked at that and I've missed a test actually, the RO. Now I've got a reagent, you know, where you colour test it with your eyes to a colour, and the pond was 7.8 and the tap water was 7.8, and I would imagine oh no, I did do it. Did I do the reagent? No, I didn't. So I will do that, because I've either done it and forgot to write it down, or I've not done it for the RO. So I would imagine that with the RO it should be around about neutral. So I will test that with the reagent. So on that note, what I've come to the conclusion is the pond pH is around 7.8, could be 7.9, 7.7, but it's within that region, so hopefully within 0.3. okay, forget the tap water, not really interested about it because I don't really use it, it's just there for comparison because Lau Magro from French Koi Connection asked me about it. And then the RO should be neutral. So for me, what I've done, KH of 1, I'm alright at that, but I've put some, I put a couple of cups of bicarb soda in the pond, in this pond, about half an hour ago. A couple of short, small cups like that, dissolved in water, twisted in, gone in. Now also what I'm doing is, I'm also using Virkon. Because I've had a few issues around the sides, I've been using Virkon. I've been double dosing it for the first month, and now I'm single dosing it now, I think. So yeah, and that is now I'm just going to periodically put it in. In winter I probably won't put the Virkon in as much, I'm not so sure, I'll see how I go. But it might be every month or two. So on that note, I'm really happy with that. So my RO unit is still doing what it's doing. It's still stripping out all the minerals of the water. Now on the next one, what I probably will do is I'll probably get my DPD tablets out and test the RO water, and then maybe look at the ammonia. So on my next round of pond water testing, I'll do an ammonia test and to see where the filters are, and then I will just get the DPD tablets out and just see if there's any chlorine coming through the RO line. I'm pretty sure it isn't. The fish look great, the white on them is good, the benny on them is good. So apart from the fish that came out of winter with, you know, bad scales, I'm more than happy to assume or know that the water is in a much better place. Look at the chagaboy feeding away at the bottom of the pond. They're bloody greedy. Absolutely just keep going and going and going, that fish. So yeah. Got my vest on because it's been absolutely warm today in Nottingham. So I'm more than happy on that. A bit of treated a fish today, so hopefully that will get better before winter. So I will test the reagent of the RO water in a minute. So back again around the pond, same day actually. So I've got DPD tablet on this side, a phenol red tablet on this side, which is for pH, and RO. This is in RO water. So say that is around 7.4. This is a high nitrate. Oops. pH, high nitrate. It's actually out of date, to be fair, as well. January, February, March 2022. So I don't know how reliable that is, to be fair. And then the DPD tablets are for the RO water. I'm showing, I can't really see, a clear.
High pH, you tit.
So yeah, so pH is looking around 7.4 for RO. Can't remember what it was now. So yeah, it's saying 7.8 on the 7.2, 7.7. So yeah, so it's on the softer side, towards neutral. So that's where you gotta look at pH and take it as that, not as a exact. So RO water is getting towards a neutral pH, and it's got no chlorine in it. There we go. So happy with that. I don't think there's anything else I can really test on that. I don't know, that concludes. I'm not with pennies now, but looks like I've lost my pen. But I will just mark on there. I would actually say, looking at that, it's actually lighter than the 7.4. So actually it's looking like it is lower than 7.4. So we are getting towards the neutral for RO, which I'd expect. So I will put that on there. What I will say, what I want to say actually is there is I'm going to post this, it's now Sunday, I'll post this Wednesday I think. I'll give it a couple of days, I'll post it Wednesday, maybe even maybe Tuesday actually, you'll see. And I want to give a shout out to there is a new show this year, and I think it's the Great British Koi Show, and it's run by the Yorkshire BKKS in association with I can't remember the company now, but it's Ricky Stoddart. And take a look, it's next weekend, so that's actually the bank holiday weekend, because it's a bank holiday Monday next week, so I'm off the following week, so I've got no excuse really. So the reason I'm going to be posting this video, Koi Wholesale, a few days after my weekend's video, is because it's looking like I will be going to the Koi Show, and it's at Newark Showground. So I will be going to that, so that weekend will actually be of that trip and that show. I did some searching in the week. It's looking like the vats have already been sold, so there's no vats available for show koi. Hopefully there's quite a few vendors there, which will be great. The missus has just told me that it's looking like there's going to be another heat wave, what they call heat wave now, next week, so warm weather next week, so that's looking great. So yeah, so that might be a good start to my weekend. Go there on a Saturday and do a bit of filming, come back, edit the video, get it on there for Sunday for you guys, and then chill out next week and have a good week. So on that note, see you on that one.